Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we welcome back the amazing Martina. How are you, Martina?
Hi, Davina Kate, and thank you so much for inviting me back. This is always such a pleasure.
Well, I couldn't think of anybody better to talk about Ensofic because you have some amazing examples of Ensofic. So we're going to delve into that in a little while. But just to set the scene, here in London, we're doing Ensofic Level 1 and Level 2, which hasn't been offered for some time. And we're coming together as a panel of teachers. And for those of you that know Martina and have had the pleasure of studying with her and her being your teacher, she's actually going to be on the panel. So this is a very exciting time. And so Martina, I would like to ask you, Ensofic, so for you, what is Ensofic is all about? What have you found for yourself, for your clients? Why is it so important?
Well, Ensofic is a very powerful modality, and I'm really excited that we're actually going to be teaching level 1 and 2 here. Because, okay, here's the thing. You have this physical body, and it's amazing when everything works, but sometimes things happen. I can stumble over my bed when I'm getting up in the morning, and I hurt my ankle, I hurt my knee. I can be out doing my exercise, and I have, all intention to have a perfect walk in the park. I call it a trot in the park, and then I've twisted my ankle. I've done things during the cycle of a year, of several years of our lives. Things happen, whether it's a break of the bone, a sprain, an illness, a flu. And we got to shift that. And we need light to come in to realign. Because, yes, sometimes we need physical things to fix, but we need energy and physics and physical to come together to move whatever is out of balance and to realign it, to bring it back into balance. And Ensofic is that. And what I love about Ensofic is that it goes to where it's needed. Because sometimes, I've stumbled out of the bed and hurt my knee because it's something else that needs to get realigned. And I've stopped myself to take time to heal that, but I wouldn't know it. So the body is very sophisticated. Ensofic goes to the cause, the root cause, whether it's in the physical, whether it's in the structure, whether it's in the emotional body, or whether it's in the mental body. And it goes into the cells, it goes into the fibers, and it brings the light in to repair, to realign, to remove, so that healing can happen. And what's so powerful is that I can learn this technique and I can use it on myself. I can apply it in direct contact onto my body, onto the specific area, if it's my knee, if it's my hip, if it's my head, or I can follow the protocol for a whole body healing. And it works on the inner organs, it works on the muscles, it works wherever the problem starts. Now, I've used this so many times on myself. But in addition to that, I've had amazing, amazing results with clients. And there's one I'd love to share with you. I had a client of mine call me up one day, it's a few years ago now, and he said, "Is there anything you can do to help my brother-in-law? He's coming out of hospital today. He is terminal and he's not expected to live, but we're coming together as a family and we want to make his last few days with his kids and his wife. Is there anything you can do?" So of course I said, well, I can create sacred space and we can, make a nice space for him. So I went over to their home and I did that. I used some of my tools to create sacred space. And in conversation, his wife said, "Is there anything you can do?" And I said, "Of course I can do, Ensofic, because we can apply Ensofic at any level, of care." And so I did Ensofic, and she said, "Please come tomorrow. Please, please come tomorrow. We want him to have the most comfort." And this man was really ill. He had a very rare condition. He had a nurse 24 hours keeping moisture on his skin because his skin was literally falling off. And I applied Ensofic Reiki, and I went back the next day, and I went back the next day. And I did this for a number of days consecutively. And he started to speak to me. And I went away on a trip. I came back. I did the protocol of Ensofic, as you know, which is 3 sessions. And he answered the door on the 3rd session. And this man is alive today. And every Christmas Eve, he and his wife text me to wish me a happy holiday and to thank me. Now, I didn't do anything. I simply applied the modality that I learned in a 3-day class.
My goodness.
And I flowed the light. So this is one example of how the tool helps what's needed. And that man went on to become an initiate in Lineage and is living a happy, healthy life today.
Oh my goodness. Amazing, Martina. Amazing.
So this is a modality. I share that because I can use it when I stump my toe, and I can use it for severe illness. And when the light gets in, it creates the healing when we're ready to heal. So this is an extremely powerful modality. It's a modality that literally we want everyone to have in their hands, because when you have it, you can apply it when it's needed, and you can apply it at all levels of care. And I find that so powerful, just so powerful.
My goodness. I mean, if that isn't a reason to come to Ensofic Level 1 and 2, I just don't know what else we would need to say. I mean, we've all had these amazing experiences. That is just phenomenal. So Martina, just to kind of delve in a little bit there. What if people at home might be thinking, well, I'm not a healer. I don't have Martina's experience. I'm not, I don't know how to set sacred space. I don't know all of this. Can they still come?
Of course, we can all do this. People say that to me all the time, but we're actually all healers, because we all have the responsibility and the power and the authority to take care of ourselves. So we are doing levels of healing in our lives every single day. Example, did you not get up today and eat food that takes care and sustains your body? Did you not move? If we survey, we'll discover you are every day practicing being your own healer. And this is another level of that. It is not as well known, but this is why today the need for this is even greater, because we're in a very much a world where we sense things more, where our youngsters are growing up and they are sensing more, they're needing energy. So yes, every human is able to do this, every human. And simply, if you can follow steps, follow a protocol, if you can go 1, 2, 3, follow the handout, you can do it. Absolutely, you can do it. I've not ever seen a person come to the training and not actually be able to do it, but actually be excited to do it after being in following the protocol, because we can all do it.
Yeah. I also like that you've mentioned, about the younger generation. And I love that we can do this for ourselves. We can do it for our family, our friends, and of course, clients as well.
Absolutely. It's all inclusive, and it's every home needs to have somebody practicing this, because, I don't know about you, but what always happens in my life is the minute that I have a requirement, a deadline at work, or a requirement to travel, something happens to the person that I love that's either staying at home or in my family of origin. And the second level of Ensofic does distance. And this is so powerful, because we're able to do multiple things through distance healing, and it's very effective. So I have lots of testimonials of that from 2020, and working with emergency room staff who I had never met. But I had a client who was an emergency room manager, and he was calling me up and saying, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing works.
Yeah, that I have also found that with the
Yeah.
distance, and also the level two, it has the distance part, but it also has the negative thoughts or negative habits. I think.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
could you tell us a little bit about that? Why is that important?
Well, it's very important because, we create habits, and some of those habits are sabotaging whatever they can be. They can be thought processes, they can be things we ingest, they can be things we do, and we know we're doing them. And we can replace that, we can reprogram it. So we can do that, and it's extremely effective, and it's very powerful. And that brings us back into alignment, because the inner self always wants to do good, but sometimes the little things get in the way, whether, whatever it is, whether it's food, whether it's substances, whether it's things we say to ourselves, whatever it may be, and we can eliminate that, and that is very effective.
Amazing. And you can actually do that for yourself and for others as well.
That's what I love about Ensofic, because you can take care of yourself and you can take care of others. And the youngsters that have many different things, Ensofic is very effective for them, because it goes right into the system and it repairs. And I had actually, I'll share one more testimonial with you. I have this gorgeous little girl, and her mom took her to me. Her mom had come for sessions, and she had really enjoyed the protocol she had received, and then she said, I really want my daughter to come, but my daughter is very unique. She was born a twin, except my son fed more and my daughter got starved in the womb. And when she was born, she had lots of problems, and she had some developmental problems. So my son is equivalent to a 7-year-old, because he's 7 years old, but my daughter is not a 7-year-old, even though she's 7. She's got different levels. So she brought her daughter, and we started to do Ensofic, and she loved Ensofic. In fact, she used to demand her mom to take, even on the days, and she would show up, because she had to come see me, and she would soak it in. She loved it. And her parents had her. She was part of a study, and when they took her for her annual scans after she had done Ensofic, the this doctor that was leading them it was in the US, doing the neurological study in Boston, Mass. They said, whatever you're doing, keep doing, because your daughter's brain system has repatterned itself. And we used to play a game every time she'd come, and by the end of it, she was teaching me a class lesson, and then I would do a session, because she would lead first, and then I would do. And her mother used to sit there and say, I don't know what happened to this child, because Ensofic brings it. It's so powerful. I get so excited about it, because it has so much potential.
Oh my goodness, that is a wonderful story. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I absolutely love that.
In the school, she came in the school year. We started her system in maybe October time of the year. And her school, she was going to a school that had 2 teachers to 1 student.
Mm.
And they told the parents that they couldn't accept her the following year, because she was too advanced. And she got accepted into a school where she was able to stay until she was 16, and was able to take state exams.
Oh my goodness. Isn't that just wonderful?
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness, I love that. Now, just to wrap up, Martina, if what about the people out there that are experienced Reiki masters and what have you? Can they benefit from coming to levels 1 and level 2?
Well,
Is there a difference
yeah,
or
there's a very big difference, and I'll try to summarize it into the simplest way possible. We can get attuned, and attunements are lovely, but we need keys. And in the lineage of King Solomon, we have keys. So when a person comes to me, sometimes they'll tell me, I've done whatever number of attunements, and that's great. Nothing, that's all positive. But when we come for Ensofic, and for the Ensofic modality, we're actually getting the keys for a healing system. So only one part of that we can say is Reiki, but then the other parts, the keys are turned on. And so when you go to practice, you're going to have attunements and keys lit up in your structure. And that gives it the power. That gives it the umph, as I call it. And that's where, when we do it, people have the experience of the light coming from the true source, from the first ray, from the Ensofic line directly into the structure. And that's where the power is. So within the lineage, those true keys are turned on. And that happens at level 1, at level 2, at level 3. And it's, it's hard to define that into words, but when you experience it, because when I do this for people, they always tell me it's slightly different than anything they've ever experienced before. And that's true. That's true because of the keys.
Yeah, yeah, that's a wonderful explanation, and I think that's going to inspire a lot of people just to, step forward and receive that. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Martina. We have covered so much, and thank you for sharing your experience.
You're welcome. It's my most excited for our training here in London, and for welcoming everybody who's ready to take this step. Because if everybody is ready if you give yourself permission.
I agree. I agree. Come and be with us. Martina will be there. I'll be there. We always have lots of fun. So everybody is welcome. You're going to receive keys. You're going to receive, be in a magical setting. So we cannot wait. And we're all going to be together. So that's fun as well.
Yes, very powerful. Very powerful.
Lots of love, everyone. Take care. See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.